talk about Brock Lesnar's second WWE run tonight. Let's dive right into it. He returned the night after WrestleMania 28 to an outstanding ovation, huge pop, one of the biggest pops I've seen for a return, especially in recent years. Tapped John Cena, big F5, tried to kick his hat out the ring and didn't quite work, came bouncing back. Had a match with John, the champ, the face of the WWE, at Extreme Rules 2012. Dominated throughout the match. It was a pretty good match. Completely wrong outcome. Cena goes over. Brock Lesnar, insane. Then he goes into a feud with Triple H. Now, I don't mind the one match with Triple H at SummerSlam he had. It was a pretty decent match. Right outcome this time. Triple H tapped out. Great stuff. But there was no need for a whole feud, One match Triple H would have done it for me. Then we get to WrestleMania 29 and Triple H puts himself over. This was probably one of the scripts Triple H ripped up. Just ridiculous. Triple H had no business going over Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 29. This was worse than John Cena going over Brock at Extreme Rules the year prior. Then Brock and Triple H have a match at Extreme Rules 2013. A match I still haven't seen actually, but I heard it's actually the best out of the three. But by then, big Brock Lesnar fan, but by then, with the way he'd been booked, losing to Cena, losing to Triple H at WrestleMania 29, I'd given up hope on his second run in the WWE already, a year in. Then he had a fantastic 5-star, one of the best WWE matches of recent times at SummerSlam 2013 against the best in the world in the professional wrestling industry at the time, CM Punk, and it was an outstanding match. The teased at the end would have Brock tapped out there. If Paul Heyman did interfere, I think he would have. Just an outstanding match. Great story. David v. Goliath, some fantastic moves. I love the running powerbomb spot. CM Punk looked like he was broken in half after that spot. Just some fantastic stuff. I wish, Brock had hooked up with Daniel Bryan as well before he retired. I think that match would have been just as good, if not better than the Punk and Brock match. Then Brock's next pay-per-view encounter, was with The Big Show at the 2014 Royal Rumble, which was a squash match, but it was made to make Brock look strong, as he'd be facing The Undertaker that year's WrestleMania. This was basically to make up for, him looking weak to Triple H and John Cena, I think, as well. They're trying to make him look like a monster again, and he did. It was a fun squash match. Then there's probably his most infamous match ever, when he ended The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, and I loved it. I love both competitors. I thought this streak had to end. It should have been by a guy like Brock Lesnar, not a guy like John Cena. And yeah, it was the match itself. Could have been perhaps better. I always say the match was like it's a SummerSlam or Hell in a Cell match with the streak ending. It would have been one of the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time. It's definitely the most shocking WrestleMania moment of all time. And it was exactly what Brock needed. Brock needed a big win, because they had almost ruined his second run. jobbing out to people like Triple H and John Cena. Then he destroyed John Cena at SummerSlam 2014. I fucking loved it because I just think John Cena and his push, Roman Reigns and his push, Triple H putting himself over have been bad for business overall. And it was just great to see. It was like, is WWE finally going into a new direction? They sort of teased it with Punk, teased it with Daniel Bryan. I just felt like, the Cena era was done. It was just great to see. But then they sort of kind of ruined it with the immediate rematch at Night of Champions. It was a pretty solid match, but again, towards the end, John Cena was looking far too strong. But then they fixed it at the Royal Rumble 2015, and the triple threat match with Seth Rollins and John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar looked fantastic in that match, and it was a great triple threat match. Then, you know what? I bash Roman Reigns a lot in these videos of 2017, but I was having a discussion with my cousin today, and I said, you know what? Roman Reigns, when booked right, can be in a great match, and his main event match with Brock Lesnar was great. Even before Seth Rollins came running down, it was a great match. I really enjoyed it. Definitely 4 stars out of 5 for me. And Brock, that's where the whole Suplex City, the Suplex City thing started with John Cena, but it's got its name, with a Suplex City bitch at WrestleMania 31. Then Brock was at Battleground, and he fairly forgettable match with Seth Rollins, but everybody remembers Battleground 2015 as the first time The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar were in the ring again since WrestleMania 30 over a year earlier, and that was a goosebump moment. I remember watching that live, and I had genuine goosebumps up and down my arms, seeing those two in the ring again. And they ended up having a couple of memorable matches, one at SummerSlam 2015 with that famous laughing scene. I loved that match. I loved the start where Brock clotheslines The Undertaker as he's coming into the ring. He's not even got his hat or coat off. The F5 through the table, Undertaker landed awkwardly. Undertaker tapping out even though it didn't count because the referee didn't see it. Now it did have a kind of screwy finish, but overall I enjoyed that match, and I thought their Hell in a Cell match was very solid too. The right guy went over. Undertaker, was out of his prime, and Brock Lesnar earned to win that feud. His next appearance was in the 2016 Royal Rumble. It was his first time in a Royal Rumble match since his 2003 victory. He was kind of wasted in that Royal Rumble. It was kind of cool to see him in it, but it was kind of a waste of an appearance. He didn't look too happy to be there either. Then he was involved in a triple threat match at Fastlane 2016 with Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. It was an okay match. Again, not the best triple threat match I've seen. The triple threat match he had with John Cena and Seth Rollins was way better. And then he was put into a feud, and then the match with Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania 32. It was a disaster. I don't know. Dean Ambrose claims that Brock was lazy. Perhaps he was. Perhaps Brock didn't think Dean Ambrose was a good enough opponent for him at WrestleMania, and Brock really should have been in the main event. I mean, why was Triple H in the main event at WrestleMania 32? Should have been Brock v someone else, and in the main event. I went to UFC, defeated Mark Hunt, and then he came back and he main evented SummerSlam 2016 with Randy Orton, and he cut him open at the end of the match, and it was quite the scene at the end of SummerSlam. Um, it was brutal, but I thought it was different, and I thought it was well done. And Brock was continued to be booked strong, which was good. And I think Randy Orton sort of had his run. What else can Randy Orton do or bring to the company? He's done, I think. So he definitely shouldn't have been going over Brock Lesnar. And then Goldberg, I can't believe this match actually took place. Goldberg returned to face Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series 2016. The first time Brock and Bill, for that matter, were both at Survivor Series. Brock Lesnar was defeated in a minute 26 seconds or something. I love Bill Goldberg. If there was anyone, even at his age at the time, if there was anyone I could, pass with beating Brock like that, is Bill Goldberg, because Bill Goldberg and his character was just so dominant and epic in WCW. And it was a shocking moment. It was not quite up there with the streak ending, but it was one of the most shocking moments. And that main event made Survivor Series feel special again. So Brock then entered his second Royal Rumble in a row to get revenge on Goldberg. And once again, Goldberg got the better of Brock in this year's Royal Rumble. And you just knew when that happened that Brock would eventually pick up the win. And he did, in what was a fun, fast-paced, physical matchup at WrestleMania 33. It was one of the shortest, but it was one of the best matches, I feel, on that card. I'd have preferred if that were the main event, other than having Undertaker's legacy go to shit in the main event. But anyways, this is about Brock, not Roman Reigns. And then, of course, last night he had his match with Samoa Joe at WWE Great Balls of Fire. Ridiculous name. But it was another solid performance by Lesnar, I thought, and Joe. Told a good story in the ring. I gave it 4 stars out of 5 in my review earlier. So yeah, I think Brock's original run of the company was great. He went through a number of legends like Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. He was King of the Ring winner, Royal Rumble winner in his first year. He's never won at Survivor Series, so still to win at Survivor Series. Maybe he will one day before he retires back to his farm. And when Steve Austin stepped down from wrestling, Brock was becoming one of my favorites in the WWE, and I was sad to see him go at WrestleMania 20. But 8 years later, of course, he returned, and his run overall has been pretty good, despite at times WWE's and Triple H's best effort to derail, set Brock back, putting himself over, or John Cena being put over. Brock should have been booked like a monster from the word go. And can you imagine how shocking it would have been if Goldberg was the only person to beat Brock in his second run thus far? So I've enjoyed Brock's second return. I've always been a big fan. I followed him. He's the only reason I really, watched any UFC. I'm not a fan of the UFC, but I watched him, supported him through that, and was happy to see him back. And it will be sad when he steps down, retires, or wherever. I'll probably, I'll watch WWE even less than I do now. I don't really watch that much. still record Raw and SmackDown, but as to actually watching him, I don't really, unless something good happens that I hear. I feel like overall Brock has been the best part of WWE since he's returned in 2012, and he's one of my top 10 wrestlers of all time. I just think he's a once in a lifetime performer and underrated, actually. And of course, the shout out goes to Paul Heyman, who really hypes him up and does a wonderful job. Them two should never split up again. I know they've split up once at Survivor Series. That pay per view is not very good to him, is it? But I think him and Paul Heyman should stick together until Brock retires, and then he can turn on him if he's done after that. And without doubt should be in the Hall of Fame, at lead inductee in the Hall of Fame. His promos were actually underrated too. I think Brock, he's quite funny cutting promos. I like hearing him talk. Anyways, that's my thoughts on the Beast's second run in the WWE.